So we're going to look here at comparing fractions. In other words, given two fractions, which one is the larger? Or are they the same, as we've just looked at with equivalent fractions? So, as an example, let's suppose we had 3/5 and 4/5. It should be clear that 4/5 is bigger, but that was easy to compare because these had the same denominator. And then all we needed to do to compare them was compare the two numerators. And then we could say that that one is bigger than that one. What if they have different denominators? So to compare two fractions, the first step is to make the denominators equal. This is something known as a common denominator. This is done by finding the lowest common multiple of the two denominators. You might remember that terminology from the last test, or the section on whole numbers. And I'm going to make a note here. You don't necessarily have to find the lowest common multiple. You just need to make the two denominators the same. And maybe I'll look at that in the example below when we come down to example 10. Remember, if you multiply the denominator, you must multiply the numerator by the same value. In other words, you need to create an equivalent fraction to the one that you have. So coming to the examples we have down here, 2/5 and 1/3. Now the lowest common multiple of 5 and 3 is 15. So we could make these both into fractions over 15. Now, with the fifths, what have I done? I've multiplied that by 3. So I have to do the same to the numerator up here. I have to multiply that by 3 as well. And so that's 6 over 15. And then the 1/3, I can make that into a fraction over 15. I've multiplied the denominator by 5, so the numerator needs to be multiplied by 5. And then I can see that that one is greater. And so I can say, and we should state it in terms of the original fractions, that 2/5 is greater than 1/3. Coming to the second example, the lowest common multiple for 4 and 12 is indeed 12. So with the 3/4, I need to multiply the denominator by 3, which means doing the same to the top. And that means I have 9/12. I'm comparing that with 7/12, and so we can see that this one is bigger, and that means that 3/4 is more than 7/12. Now I use the lowest common multiple, but you don't have to. If you don't spot that, you could just multiply those two, and we could use 48. So what have I multiplied 4 by now to get 48? I've multiplied it by 12, do the same to the top, and I get 36. For the 7/12, I've multiplied that by 4 to get 48, so do the same to the top, and we get the same result. Using the lowest common multiple, however, keeps the numbers we're dealing with smaller.